$1 trillion man here. Look, I want to talk to you about one of the most important concepts, that is the 10 bagger window. I don't know if you can see behind me, right above where my head is. That's Mount Vesuvius, the volcano. One of the biggest eruptions in history, and that buried the city of Pompeii. So what we're looking for with our stocks is for that volcanic eruption, which is going to send massive volcano rockets to the moon, creating 10 bagger stocks, 20 bagger, 50 bagger, potentially 100 bagger, right? Look, we're not here to make 20% gains, we're here to make massive, huge gains. Now the thing to know is, when is that 10 bagger window open, right? Just like that volcano behind me. You don't want to wait 1,000 years for that volcano to explode. You want to get in that stock right before it explodes, right? So that is what we call the 10 bagger window. So let's kind of get some notes in front of me right here. Yeah, look, guys, if you look at some of the biggest gains stocks have made, you look at some of the biggest moves ever. Look at those charts. You pull up a 5-year chart, and you're going to notice that most of the time those stocks are dormant, kind of like that volcano. The volcano behind me, the stocks are dormant, and all of a sudden the smoke starts coming out, and the volcano erupts, right? But most of the time they are dormant, so all the action happens in a very short period of time, right? That action is what we call what I call the 10 bagger window. I think I did come up with that term, the 10 bagger window. It's a trademark term. And that basically is that moment in time when most of the value is created. Again, let me repeat, that is the moment when most of the value is created. It's an opportunity. It's a window. A window opens up, and that's where the value can be created. And it's up to the CEO to really seize that opportunity, because all it is an opportunity. Here's how the window kind of opens up. Basically, companies, it's an emerging growth company. They're spending a couple of years developing, their business. Finally, again, they go through fits and trials, tribulations. Then finally they get to the inflection point. Again, the magical inflection point, which is when all of a sudden everything kind of clicks. Everything clicks. Maybe they start to scale their business, or they hit some major milestones, and investors all of a sudden get this aha moment. They get this aha moment where they realize that this could actually be a massive opportunity. All of a sudden they realize what's going on. They realize that this could be a 10 bagger. There's a realization by investors that this could be something huge, right? Now, of course, it also helps. The window is also helped along by positive trends in the sector, in the theme. Maybe there's some news flow. Maybe there's some underlying event that happens which causes that sector to heat up all of a sudden, right? And investors' eyes, the eyes get on the stock. People start looking for companies in that sector. Well, you guys all remember whatever. Every once in a while, there's some disease that comes out, and whatever biotech stocks have been working on a cure or something, however rare, unusual it is, all of a sudden those stocks explode. Like, recently we had the monkeypox, right? It's some very rare thing, but there was one or two stocks that had something vaguely associated with it, and those stocks exploded. They exploded. Also, of course, COVID. That's the big one. We've had stocks that ran up 100-fold. That's right, there were 100 baggers created. Wall Street Reporter had a couple of. We had a 20 bagger and a 50 bagger. A stock that went up 2,000% and 5,000%. Both of those companies, actually, they were working in kind of adjacent spaces, but they took advantage of it. They took advantage of that 10 bagger window, where the market, they were kind of in an adjacent area. The market said, hey, you know what? This looks like that could be a COVID play or whatever it was, and the CEOs, they pivoted to it, and which was the smart move, very opportunistic, and the stocks ran. So, and value was created. So again, this the 10 bagger window is really it's I'm just looking at my notes here. It's from my book. I'm looking through my book here. So what I wrote was the 10 bagger window represents the moment in time when all the combustible elements line up. They align. The combustible elements align, and again, that creates what we're looking for, that asymmetrical setup. So we're looking for outliers, these massive gains where the risk is actually quite limited. So if you look at those 20 bagger or 50 baggers that we had at the time, the risk was actually relatively limited in those stocks. One of those stocks was trading at a nickel, another one was 50 cents, and there was a little bit of downside in both of them. Not that much though. I mean, a lot of it was already baked in, and so essentially the bet was, you're risking a penny or 2 pennies or 10 cents in the other case, and your upside could be, whatever. In one case, the 50-cent stock ran to $10. The nickel one ran to $2.50. So, that's an asymmetric setup when your upside is like 20 to 1 or 100 to 1, 50 to 1. We're not looking for a 30% gain. We're looking for, you put up $1 and your upside could be, $20 or $50. So that's what it's all about. And again, that is what we're looking for with Wall Street Reporter's next super stocks. That's my whole focus, is finding those stocks which are getting into that 10 bagger window. And ideally, we want to have that CEO. Again, it's really up to the CEO, having the CEO who knows how to seize those opportunities. When that window opens up, they got to take action. Because again, luck, some of these people have been called lucky. I've been called lucky. But really, what is luck? Luck is opportunity. Opportunity meets preparation. Sometimes, it's like an Olympic athlete. You're spending years and years preparing for that, 5 seconds. You may catch a break. You might be like for example, in the Olympics, you may not be the number one guy. You may be like the third or fourth guy in the world, in the top 5 position. But, when it comes to that event, whatever that Olympic event is, something happens and the number one guy, which everybody thinks is going to win, he just, he or she, whatever, they just freeze, or something happens. Maybe, they slip. These things happen all the time. It's an element of luck involved. And the number 3 guy, he takes advantage of that opportunity. It's kind of like, we see this happen in wartime. In wartime, some of the most pivotal military moments, the victory happened because of a fluke, total fluke. It was something with weather, or maybe the horses got stuck in the mud. Who knows? There's always some crazy fluke that happens, and and the general, the commanders who seize that moment, they get the victory. So that's what this is all about, my friends. Here's to your next 100 bagger success.